I had to get on here really quick because I kind of stumbled along something that as I was reading it made like my jaw drop because it sounded so familiar. So I have to get in here and share what I've learned so far, and I will come back and do even more in detail as I learn more. I was just so excited I had to come in, and it's really weird that I get excited about this stuff, but what are you gonna do? So I was looking up codependency, because you all know that I've been working on figuring out what is going on inside of myself where I keep getting into horrible relationships, not only with potential partners or friendships or what have you. It affects every single aspect of my life. So I read this and it was like a slap in the face. And it says that another word for codependency is a savior complex. I didn't realize that was actually a term used in the mental health field, like at all. I thought that was like a joke. I've made jokes about that before. But it is the same thing as codependency. What it is the overwhelming need to help others, often excessively making personal sacrifices and neglecting your own needs. I can name so many different people that come to my mind when I just read that part. Like not taking care of yourself. The big thing with self-care that I'm always saying, how important self-care is, that's one thing that I struggle with the most, and that's like the definition of this. It says that most sufferers have unresolved past traumas, especially if you feel guilty for past failures, have a fear of abandonment, were parentified as a child. If you don't know what that is when you are really young and having adult responsibilities that you should not be having. I was 9 when I first started watching my siblings for the entire day, and I was 15 the first time they took off for more than 2 weeks, and I was left with 5 children. So yeah, parentification. Or if any way you were taught to sacrifice your needs for the good of the family. That's long-term abusive relationships of any kind. If you've been in a horrible relationship with a toxic person for many years and you've had to grow to that adjustment that their needs were more important than yours, it just reinforces it even more. It is an excessive to the point of being unhealthy need to rescue others even when it's not asked for or wanted by someone else. I have noticed in the past that I'll hear of something going on and I'll think it's like my personal mission to drop everything and go and fix it. No one's asked me. No one's even suggested it. And it will just overwhelm me and I won't be able to stop thinking about it until the situation is solved. Self-worth and identity comes almost entirely from the ones we are helping. Yeah. My own self-view for a long time. I know I've spoken about this before, not even knowing who I was as a person until just recently, because my view of myself and what I was always told was what I was supposed to take care of other people. That's my entire use. That was what I was born for, basically, is what I was taught. So I'm going to go through the signs really quick. And like I said, I will get on and do another big one, and I'll make sure that it is in my YouTube channel, and I will try to share it onto the other social media platforms if you guys are not followers or whatever yet. So the signs of savior complex or codependency, which is the word that's better known, is you are attracted to people in distress and or toxic situations. That's my type. You are burnt out on relationships. You always give too much of yourself. You're pouring into everyone else's cup, even when your own is dry. You're always trying to change other people or improve their situations. But when we're doing that, we forget that in order for people to grow, they have to want to make changes for themselves. But I know that in my own case, if someone I was helping failed at something or did something that I didn't agree with, I felt like it was my fault. Some way or another, the delusional ways that I would think would make it my fault and my responsibility. You make excessive personal sacrifices. You frequently end up in one-sided relationships by people that only take. Do you have a lot of takers in your life? I know I sure have. But then as soon as you needed something, they were nowhere to be found? Yeah. Did you have like lack of boundaries or no boundaries at all? Your needs didn't matter, right? Who cared what you needed? You need to solve everything and only you have the answers. I have gotten myself into trouble with this so many times. And I am really working on thinking before I say things and thinking before I offer things. And it's a lot to rewire your brain in so many different ways. You help someone for the wrong reasons. Like you're changing yourself in order to fit in where you obviously don't belong. Your self-worth is dependent on other people's opinions. That is like that's my entire life. Just in that one sentence there, self-worth is dependent on other people's opinions. For so long, that's how I was. And I don't know if you guys felt somewhat connected to this, but I sure have. And I'm falling down a rabbit hole. And like I said, I will be back, I'm sure, very soon to go into more detail. And if you guys want me to go over anything else in regards to this, shoot me a message. All right. See you later.